tell us about exactly what is Mango Voice, and how does it serve the dental community?
Yeah. So Mango is your voice over internet phone system, right? So we're VoIP, and it's kind of a buzzword, right? In dental right now, like everyone's talking about getting a good VoIP service inside your office because of the things that it can do. So Mango Voice was started several years ago as more of an internet company and turned into phones. And where we really started to branch out big time in dental was with integrations. So we integrate with the majority of patient engagement softwares and some of the cloud-based patient management softwares so that you can develop the patient pops or the screen pops on incoming calls to save time for the office manager. We have, I mean, just a plethora of services that we offer, from voice recordings to auto attendance to customized call flow, shared voicemail, text messaging, uh, missed call text notifications, all the things that you don't think about that your office needs for that gateway, because that's what the phones are, is the gateway to your office. And if you don't have a good phone system in place, you're probably leaving money on the table that you didn't even realize you're missing out on. Because me, I'm a consumer, right? And like, if I'm looking for a dentist in the area, I'm going to Google search it, and if I call and nobody answers, I'm just going to go to the next one that's listed on Google, right? And so we have ways to get engagement on those missed calls. We have ways to get engagement on incoming calls that you're probably not aware of, and uh, definitely trying our best to integrate with everyone, because there are some really cool technology. There's really cool software is being developed right now that are, everyone's brainstorming. How do we engage better? How do we do better online forms? How do we do better, text to pay? And Mango's trying our best to integrate with all those services so that you're having a unified experience between your phones, your patient engagement, and patient management.
Do you think that, right now there's a major staffing crisis going on, not just in dentistry, every profession. My pediatrician friend is stressed out of his mind because he is down with staff, and kids are like more sick at this time of year than ever. So it's not just dentistry, but it's most industries. So having a lack of staff, do you think Mango Voice helps a dental office when they're, say, down a staff member or two? It does some jobs that otherwise a person would be doing.
Absolutely. Where you have a phone system that can handle multiple calls, multiple lines, because with VoIP you have unlimited lines, so you can manage multiple calls. We have a mobile app, so when you're not able to work out of the office or you're on the go, you can send and receive calls and text messages from your mobile app, and it still appears as your business number, right? So you're not crossing over your personal life with your business life, right? You still have to maintain that separation. That's important. And you have the call recordings, you can have the voicemails emailed to you. There's just so many little ways that make it more efficient for a practice owner who is shorthanded to still get engagement with patients out there. For Mango, we really took off actually during COVID, because there was so much remote work being done, and there was a lot of office managers and practice owners had to dive into, like, how do we work more remotely, or how do we be more efficient in the office? And more doctors and even not just in dentistry, but all business owners started looking at how do we become more efficient in the front office, and they started to catch on that Mango has great services that actually increase efficiency. And in a lot of industries, it can replace a worker where you're missing one, and that's vital, where you don't have to pay another salary, and you also are still getting the same amount of patients or more if you're doing it right.
Yeah, and it's just hard to find staff too.
Yep.
They're not, busting down that door. It's hard to find people.
Sure.
So any way you can help to get your practice not miss a beat, with phone calls, like you said, that's the gateway. Patients are going to they're going to check out your reviews, they're going to go to your website, and hopefully they call. And if they call, you don't want to miss that call.
Yep.
Um, so can you back up a little? If, let's say, there's an emergency call and I text a patient or call them through the Mango app, it does not come up as my own personal cell phone. Is that right?
That that is correct. So it'll come up as your business number, and there's several ways to utilize that. So you can use the Mango app on your cell phone, or we have a web app that you can log into from any PC, and you can log in and send and receive text messages there as well. So um, I think it's really important to keep that separated, right? Your personal life and your business life, because if you start giving out your personal cell phone number, you're going to get calls at text messages at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. from patients, and uh, and that's huge because you want your number to be out there, right? You want your business to be out there as much as possible, and so you're able to share, text messaging from your business number. If you're not doing that, you definitely need to look into other ways to start doing that.
Yeah, so I live and practice in the same town, so I see patients like at the grocery store, at restaurants, my kids' schools. So I'm used to it, but I do not want my cell phone out there. So
Right.
that's great that you do that. All right, so no pressure here, but what are two things that really separate Mango from its competitors?
Yeah. So number one that really stands out here, and this was apparent to me right when I joined up with Mango last year, was the customer service experience that you're going to have with Mango. Uh, and anyone who's ever had to call in for support or call in to make a change, like imagine calling Verizon right now or AT&T, whoever your cell phone provider is, who gets excited to do that, right? Who gets excited to, oh yeah, I need to call AT&T and get that fixed. Like, oh my God, like nobody is looking forward to that, right? But with Mango Voice, we have a less than 1 minute answer rate for customer support calls. And you talk to a live person. You don't get a machine. We don't have any automation that way. So you're talking to a live person whenever you call in, and you just feel like you're talking to a person, and they don't treat you like you're just another number, right? They treat you like a person. And I noticed that right away. And I was like, wow, if this is how I would want to be treated if I was going to call in. So our support is top notch. We can go toe to toe with any company in the nation, I feel like, on customer support. So that is huge. I don't know how many times I've heard from different dentists, different shows we've been to, different calls I've been on. They said, oh, it's so nice to talk to somebody, or like just to hear like a friendly voice on the phone. So you're going to get that with Mango Voice. And then the second thing that I think really stands out is our analytics that we have with Mango Voice. So there's so many features, it's hard to just pinpoint one. But I've noticed more and more that doctors are trying really hard to market, right? So they get a marketing number, and then they have no idea like if that marketing number did well, or if like it's producing for them. And they'll spend thousands of dollars on advertising. They'll purchase a new number. They'll go through a website, have them create some sort of marketing campaign for them, and then they never get an understanding of what was the return of investment on that, what was the ROI on that, right? And with Mango Voice, you can go in and do a very simple extension comparison, and you can look at that number and see how many calls are coming in, how long those calls are, and you can listen to those calls and understand, okay, how good did my team do on this call? Are they good salesmen, or they just drop the ball on that call? What kind of training do we need to do now? And what was booked on that call? What kind of treatment are we getting out of these calls? So I think that's huge for you to understand, not just, okay, we're doing marketing, but let's deep dive into it and actually decipher what was the return on that marketing. And you can do that. It's so easy. You log in, you look at that phone number. Okay, we got 50 calls this week from that number alone. 15 of them converted to, new appointments. So now you have an understanding of how well your marketing actually worked. Or if it didn't, right? If it didn't, then you have to go back to the drawing board and decide, okay, that didn't work, but now we know, so let's go back and figure out another way to capture new patients.
The data don't lie.
That's
The
right.
metrics, you got to follow the data. And
right.
it's not, like you said, how do you know if something's working or not unless you have data? You could have a
Mhm.
gut feeling, but until you really dig into the data,
Right.
then if it's not working, pivot and change it.